If you want to speak English better, you need to learn more vocabulary words. How good is your vocabulary? Let's find out. Let's go. In today's lesson, we are going to go over some basic collocation vocabulary words. Now, a collocation is 2 or 3 words put together to make a new vocabulary word. Today, we will go over 5 basic collocation vocabulary words. Now, I keep saying basic because it is, a little bit easier vocabulary, but it is very, very important. You must know these words if you want to speak like a native speaker. So while the vocabulary words are not that difficult, it's important that you know how to use them, and it's important that you understand what they mean. In today's lesson, I will explain each collocation vocabulary word. I'll give you an example sentence. And after we finish all 5, I will give you a small mini test to see if you can remember and use the correct vocabulary word. Today's lesson is also a second in a basic collocation vocabulary series. This is part 2. It's the second lesson. If you haven't watched the first one, make sure you watch that one as well, because you can learn another 5 vocabulary words. I also have advanced collocation vocabulary lessons also. So if you want to challenge yourself, please watch those as well. All right, so the very first vocabulary word we are going to study today is put on. Put on. Now, put on has many, many meanings, but in today's lesson, we are going to focus on one meaning only. And put on in today's lesson, it means that I place some type of clothing or jewelry or makeup onto my body. So I place the clothing, I place the jewelry, I place the makeup on my body. So that's what put on means. A good example sentence is, I put on my hat. I put on makeup. I put on my shoes. I put on a watch. All of these we use put on. Number 2, take off. Now, again, there are many meanings for take off, but in today's lesson, take off is the opposite of put on. So put on, we just learned, was you place the clothing on your body. The jewelry goes on your body. Makeup is on your body. Take off, it means we remove the clothing from our body. We remove the makeup. Or we remove the jewelry. We're going to remove it. We take it off. A good example sentence here is, I take off my hat. I take off my shirt. I take off my makeup. I take off my watch. All right, so put on and take off, they are the opposites. So it's very good to remember both of these. Number 3, turn up. Turn up. Okay, again, in today's lesson, turn up means to increase the volume or heat. To increase, to make it stronger. When we're talking about the volume or the heat. For example, a good example sentence for turn up is, can you turn up the TV? I can't hear it. Or if we're talking about the heat, maybe I could say, can you turn up the heat? I'm cold. All right, so this means to increase the volume, increase the heat. Okay, so we've gone over 3 collocation vocabulary words. Very, very useful collocation vocabulary words. If you think these words are helpful for your English, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up and hit the notification bell. Also, if you think your friends or family or someone you knows will benefit from this lesson, if you think this lesson will help them, please share this video with them as well. Okay, number 4, turn down. Turn down. Now, for today's lesson, turn down is the opposite of turn up. Turn up means we increase the volume or the heat. Turn down means you decrease the volume or the heat. For example, a good example sentence for this is, can you turn down the TV? It is too loud. Or, can you turn down the heater? It's too hot. All right, so here, can you decrease the volume? Turn it down. You know, a long time ago, our volumes had a knob. Okay, now we have the remote control, which arrow goes up and down. So down means you decrease. The arrow that goes up, it means increase. And number 5, today's 5th collocation vocabulary word that you must remember is take out. Take out. Now, again, this vocabulary word has many, many meanings, but in today's lesson, we will focus on one meaning. And in this one, we are going to use it with garbage. Take out the garbage, or take out the trash. This means that I am going to move the garbage or the trash from inside my house. I move it, and I move it outside of my house. I move the garbage from in my house to outside of the house because the sanitation workers will come and take my garbage away. The sanitation workers. A sanitation worker is a worker who will take your garbage that you put outside. So in today's lesson, we will say, take out the garbage. A good example sentence for this is, I take out the garbage every Monday morning. I take out the garbage every Monday morning. So for my house, Monday is garbage day. The sanitation workers will come on Monday, so I must take out my garbage. Okay, so we finished 5 vocabulary words, 5 collocation vocabulary words. If you still don't understand the meaning of one or some of them, please rewatch the video and listen to my explanation again. Or you can ask any questions down below. I will always answer all of your questions and comments, and I encourage you to leave your comments. When you write a comment, when you make sentences for me to check, you are improving your English. So make sure you always try to leave a comment or ask questions down below. So now we finished the 5 vocabulary words. Now it is test time. This is the active part of the lesson. This is where we will check to see if you understand what all of these words mean, and we will check to see if you can choose the correct vocabulary word. In this section, I will give you a sentence. And in this sentence, there will be a blank space. Please choose which collocation vocabulary word will go into this blank space. Now remember, if you need time to think, just pause the video. If you pause the video, you can read the sentence, you can think, and when you know the answer, you can say it out loud, you can write it in the comment section, and then unpause the video. So pausing and unpausing is very useful. Okay, number 1. What is your answer here? The sentence is, don't forget to something, sunscreen, when you go to the beach. What is your answer? All right, the answer for this is, don't forget to put on sunscreen. Don't forget to put on sunscreen. So sunscreen is a lotion. It's like makeup. So we put the sunscreen on our body. So put on is the correct vocabulary word. Number 2, can you something your music? I'm trying to sleep. What vocabulary word will you use in this sentence? All right, my answer here is, can you turn down your music? Can you turn down your music? So here, I'm trying to sleep. I want to sleep. Your music is too loud, so please turn down the music. Please decrease the volume. Number 3, I forgot to something, my makeup, before going to sleep. What is your answer for this sentence? All right, my answer here is, I forgot to take off my makeup before going to sleep. So this means I went to sleep, but I didn't remove the makeup. I slept with my makeup on. Number 4, can you something the garbage? What is your answer here? All right, my answer here is, can you take out the garbage? Can you take out the garbage? This means put the garbage outside. Number 5, it's so cold. Something the heat, please. What is your final answer for this sentence? Which vocabulary word will you use? All right, it's so cold. Turn up the heat, please. Turn up the heat. I want you to increase the heat. I want you to make the room warmer. Okay, so how did you do? Did you get all 5 of those correct? If not, don't worry, just try again. And if you have any questions about any of these vocabulary words, please leave them down in the comments section. Also, while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Now, before I finish, I do have some homework for all of you. Now, your homework today is you have learned 5 collocation vocabulary words. These vocabulary words, they're easy, but they're so important. Native speakers use these all of the time. So your homework is, I want you to make 1 original sentence for each vocabulary word. After you make the sentence, put it down in the comments section, and I will check all of your sentences. All right, so I will have a lot of other lessons coming out, especially more vocabulary lessons. So make sure you watch out for those. Until the next lesson, see ya. Thank you very much for watching today's lesson. Today we learned 5 collocation vocabulary words. These words are very important as native speakers use them daily. If you think this lesson was useful, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. And don't forget to watch all the other videos I have on my channel. Until the next lesson, see ya.